The lips of wisdom are closed except to the ears of understanding. This is the warning that guards the entrance to the oldest philosophy in the world. We live in a reality that seems solid. We touch walls. We feel pain. We see stars. We believe that matter is the fundamental building block of existence. But what if this is a grand illusion? What if the universe is not made of atoms, but of thoughts? Thousands of years ago, in the sands of ancient Egypt, a master known as Hermes Trismegistus walked the earth. He was not just a philosopher. He was considered the scribe of the gods. The Greeks called him Hermes. The Egyptians called him Thoth. He is the father of occult wisdom, the founder of astrology, and the discoverer of alchemy. For centuries, his teachings were hermetically sealed, hidden from the masses, passed down only from mouth to ear. But in 1908, a mysterious book appeared, the Kybalion. It revealed the 7 universal principles that govern every single aspect of reality. Today, we are going to open this book. We are going to decode the source code of the Matrix, and it begins with the most terrifying and liberating concept of all, the all. Before there was a universe, before there were gods, before there was matter, there was the all. The Kybalion defines the all as the substantial reality. It is the unknowable, the infinite, the living mind. Religions try to give it a name. They call it God, nature, energy, or spirit, but these are just labels for human understanding. The all is beyond definition, but while we cannot know what it is, we can know how it acts. And here lies the first great principle of Hermeticism. The all is mind. The universe is mental. This is the master key. If the all is an infinite living mind, and if the universe is created by the all, then the universe is a mental creation, just as you can close your eyes and create a world inside your head, with people, landscapes, and emotions that feel real to the characters inside your dream. We are characters inside the dream of the all. We are thoughts within the divine mind. This sounds abstract, but the implications are practical and brutal. If the universe is mental, then matter is just densified mind. It means that the laws of physics are actually laws of psychology on a cosmic scale. It means that your mind is not separate from the fabric of reality. Your mind is a fragment of the divine mind. Therefore, you have the power to influence reality. This is the basis of all true magic and alchemy. The alchemist does not try to change lead into gold by chemical reactions. He tries to change the vibration of the metal by using the power of the mind, because he knows that lead and gold are the same thing, just vibrating at different rates within the mind of the all. Most people live as slaves to the material world. They believe that circumstances are solid and unchangeable. I am poor. I am sick. I am unlucky. They accept these as physical facts. The Hermetic master sees them as mental conditions. He knows that if he changes the image in the mind, the reflection in the mirror of reality must change. He does not try to change the reflection by touching the glass. He changes the face he presents to the mirror. This is the secret of mental transmutation. But to wield this power, we must understand how the mind creates. It does not create chaotically. It creates according to laws. Imagine the universe as a giant, complex musical instrument. It has strings, it has keys, it has a rhythm. If you try to play it without knowing the rules, you create noise. You create suffering. If you learn the rules, you create harmony. You create a life that flows. In the next block, we will explore the mechanics of this instrument. We will look at how the microcosm reflects the macrocosm. We will discover why nothing ever stands still. And we will learn the art of emotional alchemy, how to turn the lead of depression into the gold of power. The universe is a lock. The Kybalion is the key. Let us turn it. If the universe is mental, how is it structured? How does the divine mind organize itself? This brings us to the second great principle. As above, so below, as below, so above. This is the law of analogies. It states that there is a harmony between the different planes of being and knowing. The laws that govern the atom are the same laws that govern the solar system. The laws that govern the life of a cell are the same laws that govern the life of an empire. And most importantly, the laws that govern the cosmos are the same laws that govern your mind. This is why we can understand the universe by understanding ourselves. Know thyself, and thou shalt know the universe and the gods. If you want to understand God, look at a human being. We are the microcosm. If you want to understand electricity, look at your nervous system. There is no separation. The pattern repeats infinitely, from the smallest to the largest. This empowers us. It means that if we can master our own small world, the below, we can influence the big world, the above. But this universe is not static. It is alive. Nothing rests. Everything moves. Everything vibrates. Modern science confirmed this thousands of years after Hermes taught it. Even a rock, which appears dead and still, is a dance of atoms vibrating at incredible speeds. The difference between spirit and matter is not a difference of substance. It is a difference of vibration. Spirit is matter vibrating at an infinite frequency. Matter is spirit vibrating at a very low frequency. Between these two poles, there are millions of degrees of vibration. Your emotions are vibrations. Love is a high frequency. Hate is a low frequency. Fear is a dense vibration. Courage is a light vibration. Here is the secret of mental transmutation. You cannot kill an emotion. Energy cannot be destroyed, but you can change its vibration. You can speed it up or slow it down, just as you can turn ice into water and water into steam by adding heat, vibration. You can turn depression into peace by raising your mental vibration. You do this through an act of will. But to do this effectively, you must understand the next law. Everything is dual. Everything has poles. Everything has its pair of opposites. Opposites are identical in nature but different in degree. Look at a thermometer. Can you tell me exactly where hot ends and cold begins? Is there a line? No. There is no line. Heat and cold are the same thing. They are just degrees of temperature. Light and darkness are the same thing. Darkness is just the absence of light. Love and hate are the same thing. They are degrees of emotional intensity focused on an object. This explains why you can turn love into hate so easily. They are on the same scale. You cannot turn hate into east or red. They are different natures. But you can slide the scale from hate to love. This is the art of polarization. The master does not try to destroy evil. He tries to transmute it into good. He creates a mental induction. By holding a high vibration, he forces the lower vibrations around him to rise. He polarizes his environment. But even the master must deal with the tides of life. Everything flows, out and in. Everything has its tides. All things rise and fall. The pendulum swing manifests in everything. The measure of the swing to the right is the measure of the swing to the left. Rhythm compensates. This law explains the cycles of history. and the cycles of your mood. After a period of great activity, there must be a period of rest. After a high civilization, there is a dark age. After a moment of intense joy, there is often a moment of sadness. Most people are victims of this rhythm. They ride the pendulum up, and they feel like gods. Then the pendulum swings back, and they feel like failures. They are tossed around by the waves of life. The Hermetic master uses the law of neutralization. He learns to rise above the swing of the pendulum. Imagine a T-shape. The pendulum swings at the bottom, but the master climbs to the top bar of the T. He lets the pendulum swing beneath him. He observes the emotion, but he does not become the emotion. He maintains a state of poise and stability, regardless of the external tides. He refuses to be carried backward. He creates his own rhythm, instead of being a slave to the rhythm of the world. These principles, correspondence, vibration, polarity, rhythm, are the mechanics of the machine. They explain how things move. But there are two more principles, the principles of action and creation, the principles that explain why things happen and how to make new things happen. In the final block, we will explore the iron law of the universe. We will shatter the myth of chance, and we will learn the ultimate secret of creation, the principle of gender. Prepare yourself. We are about to take the controls. We have learned that the universe is mental. We have learned that it vibrates, oscillates, and reflects itself. Now we must learn how to navigate it without being crushed. This leads us to the sixth great principle. Every cause has its effect. Every effect has its cause. Everything happens according to law. Chance is but a name for law not recognized. There is no such thing as chance. There is no such thing as luck. There is no such thing as coincidence. If you roll a dice and it lands on 6, that is not chance. That is the result of the force of your hand, the weight of the dice, the friction of the table, and the air resistance. If we knew every variable, we could predict the outcome with 100% accuracy. Chance is just a word we use to cover our ignorance. In the physical world, we accept this, but in our personal lives, we cling to the idea of luck. He got lucky. I am just unlucky. This is the victim mindset. The Hermetist knows that nothing escapes the law. If your life is in chaos, it is an effect. You must find the cause. Most people are effects. They are moved by the wills of others. They are moved by the environment. They are moved by their own subconscious programming. They are pawns on the chessboard of life. The master strives to become a cause. He rises above the plane of the ordinary. He dominates his own moods. He chooses his own thoughts. He becomes the player, not the pawn. This does not mean he escapes the law. No one escapes the law, but he uses the higher laws to overcome the lower laws, just as a pilot uses the law of lift to overcome the law of gravity. The master uses the law of spirit to overcome the law of karma. He generates new causes to create the effects he desires. And finally, how is creation itself possible? How does the mind generate reality? Gender is in everything. Everything has its masculine and feminine principles. This has nothing to do with biological sex. That is just the physical manifestation. We are talking about the creative energies of the universe. The masculine principle is the energy of will. It is projective. It is the seed. It acts. The feminine principle is the energy of imagination. It is receptive. It is the womb. It generates. Nothing in the universe is created without the union of these two forces. Even within your own mind, you have a masculine part, conscious will, and a feminine part, subconscious creative. If you want to create a new reality, you must marry these two aspects. The masculine will must plant the seed of intention into the feminine subconscious, and the feminine subconscious must nurture that seed and bring it into form. Most people are mentally sterile. Either they have too much will but no imagination, they work hard but create nothing new, or they have too much imagination but no will, they dream all day but never act. The master seeks the mystical marriage of the mind. He projects his will with focus and allows his subconscious to do the work of generation. This is the secret of creative power. The Kybalion is not a religious text. It is a manual for the mind. It teaches us that we are not isolated beings floating in a dead universe. We are mental beings living in a mental universe. We are connected to the All. The All is in everything, but everything is also in the All. This gives us a dual responsibility. We must respect the laws of the physical world, the below, but we must also remember our divine origin, the above. We must learn to transmute, to change our polarity from fear to courage, to neutralize the rhythm of despair, to become causes, not effects, to balance our internal gender. The wisdom of Hermes Trismegistus has survived for thousands of years for a reason. It works. But as the book says, possession of knowledge, unless accompanied by a manifestation and expression in action, is like the hoarding of precious metals, a vain and foolish thing. Knowledge, like wealth, is intended for use. Do not just listen to these principles. Test them. Observe your own mind. Catch yourself when you are vibrating low. Change the polarity. Catch yourself when you are blaming luck. Find the cause. The universe is waiting for your command. But you must speak the language of the law. The lips of wisdom are open. Are your ears ready to hear?